Welcome back, guys. I hope all is doing well. Tell me in the comments down below, do you guys actually like the new update? I mean, I think it's pretty cool, but I'd like to know what you guys think. Anyway, tell me in the comments down below. Now, today we will be comparing the F-15 modules in DCS and WarThunder. Now, yes, they're technically not the same jet. One is more modern than the other, but we'll be testing them regardless. Other than that, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and join the Discord down below to join our 10,000 Golden Eagle giveaway, which we will announce the winners tomorrow, Sunday, so make sure to do that quickly. In terms of the F-15C, we'll be doing comparisons in BVR and BFM, and BFM is basically close range dogfight with missiles and guns and whatnot. Now, both these aircraft have small differences. Again, I believe the WarThunder F-15C is a little more modern. It has HMS, it carries conformals, and DCS has an ECM on their F-15C, which is actually pretty nice. WarThunder does not have that. So I hope you guys enjoy this video. We will be first starting with BVR and DCS. And again, this is a very rough test. This is not flight performance, it's more combat related. Okay, so we are in the F-15 in DCS, so there's a couple differences, at least combat-wise with this. Of course, you get your nice radar. There's no side radar like WarThunder, of course. And this also gets a jammer, which is pretty slick. WarThunder currently doesn't have any jammers that I can think of, unless you're using like unorthodox tactics. But yeah, we get an ECM little jammer, which is nice. Pretty good interior. Looks very similar to the C inside WarThunder. Now, again, the C in WarThunder is a modernized version of this variant. So this is an earlier C model. Correct me if I'm wrong, but let's see. Okay, so he is locked now. Let's select our AIM-120s. Wait a minute. I goofed up a little bit. There we go. So he's over the water, it looks like, and his vector is heading towards us. So we're gonna launch one of these off, since we have a couple of them to spare. I put them on the outer pylons as well. Now, another thing is WarThunder has pretty drastic multipathing effects compared to DCS. DCS, they're pretty much gone. Why is my... There we go. Yeah, DCS, they're pretty much gone. There is ground clutter, and it does affect the missile a little bit, but not as much as WarThunder. WarThunder's, I think, what, 60 meters? Launch one of those off. We're going to start cranking here. So in this, you actually have to defend against the missile. And of course, because WarThunder did switch it to 60 meters, now players are starting to use actual BVR tactics instead of flying super low to the ground. We could see him right there. So I guess we're, what, WVR? Within visual range? Yeah. Oh, I hope he didn't launch. He is using the R-77s, by the way, on the J-11. But, again, the R-77, at least the early models, aren't really that good. Right now we're using the AIM-120Bs. This is the closest we have to the A model. And we pretty much just have them on the defensive in this fight. Although we are about to merge, so we might get a sneaky shot on us. We're gonna go left here. Dump some chaff and flare, just in case he uses an ET. Oh, and he's dead. Yeah. That's not good. But, wait, is that a missile? Okay. Yeah, but you could see in DCS, the F-15 does have a couple more perks, including, you know, a jammer. It does carry the AIM-120Bs and the Cs. For this video, of course, we use the Bs. But yeah, let's try a BFM fight. Let's try a close range brawl with the flanker. Okay, so for this fight, we will be using any missile on the jet, any weapon, except the only limitation is we have to merge first and go into a little dogfight. And this is just to show the general maneuverability of the F-15 in a combat scenario, at least in DCS. Because I feel like, I could be wrong, but I feel like the F-15 in DCS pulls a little better, at least in terms of AOA. It also has potentially better energy retention, although I would have to put that through a full-on test. But let's not go too fast in the merge here. Turn on vertical scan. Let's launch one of those off. Switching to guns. And there we go. And I believe the reason we were dumping a bunch of flares, you can't really... that's the thing with the R-73. It does track a lot better in DCS, but if you're pre-flaring, I mean, there's not much you can do. But our missiles missed as well because he was flaring pretty well, so we had to switch to guns and get him. But yeah, that's the general performance of the F-15 in DCS. Tell me what you guys think in the comments down below. Obviously, this is not a perfect demonstration, but I just wanted to give you guys a general rough draft of what this feels like in DCS if you're a WarThunder player and you're curious. But yeah, there's a couple differences, of course, right? Some of the main ones are the multipathing, right? You can't, in DCS, you fly super low, you're still going to get hit, right? And then secondly, this gets ECM. I would say those are the major things. And then potentially AOA. I feel like this thing pulls a lot more AOA. But that's just my personal take. I would have to actually test this in a controlled environment. But yeah, tell me what you guys think about this. Let's switch to WarThunder. Unless we already did WarThunder. In that case, we're going to figure... Okay, now we are in the WarThunder BVR section of the video. The most realistic simulator to ever grace the planet. That is a joke. Don't hate on me, DCS players. It was just a prank, I promise. Although WarThunder, I think, does model their radars pretty good. Now, WarThunder, it's not really a hardcore simulator, but I will say their aircraft are very similar to DCS's FC3 models, which is their Flaming Cliffs, essentially their lower fidelity models where you can't click all the buttons. Yeah, you have to start up the power inside those modules, but I mean, you just turn on the engine, start the power, you're pretty much ready to go, right? They do have a little more details than the DCS models that we have for Sim, but again, they're very similar. Another difference is they have ECM, which is pretty cool. WarThunder does not have any jammers whatsoever. You can have radar clutter, but to create that, it's just so convoluted to jam other aircraft in terms of radar. There's a lot of methods, but it's just not efficient. So effectively, WarThunder doesn't have it, but they do have HMS on the F-15C, which is very nice, especially if you want to lock a target with your helmet. You can do that. DCS, you cannot do that. And again, that's probably because the DCS F-15C is an earlier variant. But you can see here we're launching at the J11, and I know this is not a video about the J11, but the R-77 and the J11 in WarThunder feel far more dangerous than the ones in DCS. I don't know. The R-77s in DCS, they're just super easy to evade, and the radar on the J11's not that great, but you could see in WarThunder, that R-77 tracks like nothing. I'm well within MAR and it kills me. And we both die. So yeah, that's a comparison of how this works in WarThunder. Let's switch to BFM. Now we have BFM, Beyond Frontal Microsoft. Close range fight, very fun stuff. We're going to get into it. Now, one thing I would like to state is the F-15 in DCS, flying that a lot prior to recording the WarThunder footage, they feel very different. Now that I think about it, the F-15 in DCS, it just, again, it's more snappier. As soon as you pitch in it, it just does what it's supposed to do. In WarThunder, it feels a little sluggish, and I'm not really sure why. And then also, it doesn't have as much AOA, or sustained AOA. It does like this bobbing maneuver in WarThunder a lot, which is a little odd. But in DCS, you can pretty much just hold its AOA when you're you know, doing full deflection for a pretty decent amount of time. So I believe that is definitely a pro for the DCS module. Small note though, the R73s and DCS are a lot more potent. WarThunder, they will hit. They can hit you even if you're flaring, as you'll see later in this video, but you can see I dodged 2 of them. In DCS, they're not as forgiving. So, but yeah, after this, we basically get into a turn fight, and he launches, I believe, his 3rd R73, and I get absolutely kachiga'd, ruined, uninstall the game type of deal. But tell me what you guys think in the comments down below. Do you guys like the WarThunder module more, or do you like the DCS module more? Personally, I will say the F-15C in DCS feels a lot better in terms of maneuverability. But other than that, take care, guys.